Damon Blackshear, the dude we've been saying is the real deal. He just hasn't lived up to the potential. He gets the Alexander Hernandez treatment, man. They give him Cody Gibson. All right, right on. Hey, man, jokes aside, look at this number. Damon Blackshear minus 450 plus 325 comeback. Line has remained pretty consistent here, super heavy on the Blackshear side, which tells me if we're looking at his last couple, right? You lost to, Jackson and Bautista, right? Like back-to-back rough losses, a decision loss, and then the TKO. But everything else, man, you're knocking people out, you're submitting them, you're doing the whole thing. Here's my question here, man. Cody Gibson, should he be this much of a dog, given his fight style? I know he's a crafty vet. I know he's in the Kurt Holobach camp right here, but I feel like this is a slightly disrespectful based on how gritty of a fighter he is.
Yeah, no, especially how dangerous and slick his submissions are, Derek. I mean, yeah, Blackshear, I do give it to him. He's the more well-rounded, more athletic style of fighter. We've seen him do some incredible stuff, but Gibson is very, very dangerous in how he approaches the game, right? He locks up a submission on you. He's going to be sitting there for a while or choking you out, one or the other. Like this is his game, and that's how he fights. Blackshear is dangerous there, but really he's more of piecing you up to find that submission and let those openings, whereas Gibson, he'll just get there and control and bully you into it.
That's where my concern lies right here. I know that Blackshear has tremendous hips. I know the sprawls are fantastic, but Gibson will look to lock on and hold on to you. And this is another scenario similar to, what was the fight that we were just talking about right here? Yeah, maybe the Chitty fight. Maybe it was a different fight. But where if you assume bottom position, it was the Lucindo fight, where you just accept guard. And you're just like, I'm cool. I'll try to work my way out, find a submission off of guard. Because if you got sick jiu-jitsu, in your mind, it makes sense. But in MMA, you have to have the thought process of, I have to wrestle up. I have to sweep. I have to get to the top position at any point possible. And I think Cody Gibson encapsulate that much more than Damon Blackshear. However, the line is what the line is, so we have to figure out how we bet this here. There's no value for a Blackshear better in pure money line. But let's take a look at a couple of these props right here. Points, minus 120. Heavy points favorite right there, which makes sense. Plus 225 for submission, plus 850 by knockout. What do you like out of those?
Yeah, I mean, instantly, I like the decision, especially because I give Cody Gibson a lot of credit in how he's able to not only attempt submissions, but defend submissions going forward for that. But, Derek, I mean, I was looking at it earlier. Only one submission loss for Gibson, right? Like he is very, very dangerous going into those kind of solid fights. So I don't really see a submission happening, but plus 230, I mean, that's one of the better odds you're getting for basically a complete blowout, or at least what the odds makers are seeing is a complete blowout.
Yeah, I think that the fair play right here, man, is maybe to bet rounds here, AJ, because I need to see what's going on here. Let me just check something. Yeah, no, this is another one. AJ, I'm not joking. I want you to do this in real time right now so that people know that I'm not crazy and I'm not tripping. Go on ESPN if you don't already have it pulled up. Look at the fight odds on Blackshear and Gibson and tell me you see total rounds at a half a round again. Folks, while AJ is looking that up, I want to point out these half a round odds right here that they have on Blackshear. He's a heavy favorite and like suitably so. But unless he is aggressively counter grappling, unless Gibson really just falls into a guillotine or something like that, I think that's kind of a ridiculous odds to look at the over and under being a half a round. AJ, am I crazy or are you seeing the same thing?
You're not crazy, Derek. Over half a round at minus 375. It's so weird that that ESPN's kind of doing these new odds at over half a round. Like with this, I mean, I guess from their like taking the outsider's thought process, right? You have a minus 450 favorite going up against a plus 325 dog. You're expecting a steamroll in right here, so maybe it makes sense. But I have no idea who's betting a under 0.5, right? Under 2.5 minutes into a fight at plus 260, folks. If you are cashing in on that, show us the tickets.
Yeah, I need to see the ticket, but just the general consensus on the any other sports book, like a consensus sports book that you look up right now, 2.5 rounds is the over under, minus 205 for the over, plus 165 for the under the last time that I checked. So I think that we should take those odds into account as opposed to the half round. And AJ, minus 205 at 2.5, depending on what it's sitting at right now. You have to take those, right?
Yeah, you have to take those. Yeah, the minus 205 makes a lot of sense, especially if you're not swinging one way or the other, especially for these fighters. Like I do give Gibson a lot of credit, and he can find his way to a victory right here. I just think Blackshear has more options to be able to get it done. I think this one has a possibility of going decision, but if you're looking for just rounds right here, over 2.5 at minus 205 does make a lot of sense.
And I'm going to make an official call right here. Blackshear's the play. if there's anybody who upsets somebody, and if Cody Gibson is that guy, I would not be surprised. It's just matchups, man. Styles make fights, and I think he's got a very intriguing style, and he's a big guy. You know what I mean? Big frame. 37 years old, though, so we'll see. Blackshear, that's your consensus pick right there. Don't bet on him, though. If you're tailing my picks, no pure bets on Blackshear right here. Minus 450, too steep. We're not taking it. All right, AJ, next